Thomas Shelby has a reputation to uphold. That's why he's been chosen.
Expansion begins tomorrow.
London is just smoke and trouble.
Tommy, he's quite cool and collected on the surface, but there's quite a lot bubbling away underneath. What's he like to play as a character?
I was just talking about this, actually. He's quite...
Don't get him on it. Don't get him on it.
He's quite exhausting, actually. Because he's so relentlessly sure of himself, or appears to be. You're right, there's a lot of complexities and sort of insecurities and troubled waters, like, you know, underneath, but he's convinced of what is right. And also very, you know, very confident physically and all of that stuff. All of the things that I'm not. So it is just that constant drive and ambition. I don't think he sleeps at all. I love sleeping. I don't think he really sleeps at all.
And Aunt Pol's a pretty tough, strong character as well. What's she like to play? Because we start to find out a little bit more about her towards the end of the first season. How much more do we kind of see Pol's character develop in season 2?
We see her develop a lot in this next season. I think that Steve reacted, having created a character that was all about control and about holding on and putting the boys in the family first and before her. Now we see her 2 years later, and she's riddled with self-doubt, because we know, we were told before that these 2 children were taken from her. I think she feels enormous guilt that she never went after them. She feels enormous pressure to try and find them, and then a sense of self-doubt of what world will you bring your children into if you're making money with illegal gambling and, you know, in a violent family. Do you really want to bring your children into that? So all those things are beginning to happen. She starts putting herself before the Peaky Blinders. She starts being a bit wilder in order just to annoy Tommy, and he's given her a broader scope to play on, and indeed in all the characters, he's taken them out of their comfort zones in this series, taking Tommy down to London. I saw, you know, the Thomas Shelby that I'd seen Cillian create in series 1, but you seem much wilder in this first episode. Because remember, we don't see a lot of each other's work until we actually sit down and see it, you know, and he's much wilder and sort of anarchic almost, isn't he?
Yeah, he's kind of a bit reckless, I think, and yeah, and it's great. And I think when, you know, a writer has confidence in the characters and has confidence in the actors, and the audience have invested to a degree, you can then really push it.
Yeah,
and I think that's what we've tried to do.
Any questions? Yes.
I haven't even seen any bread.
He'll wake up. Granted, he won't have any teeth left, but he will be a wiser man for it. And the last thing he will remember is your funny little joke. I mean,
Tommy made a fair few enemies in the first series, and I gather that he's going to make some more in the new series too.
He's good at that, yeah.
Making friends.
One of them being Tom Hardy's character, obviously. What's he like to work with, and what does he kind of bring to the show, do you think?
Well, everybody knows how great Tom is as an actor, you know, that goes without saying. And, you know, he's worked with Steve Knight before on Locke, so those guys have a relationship. And I've worked with them in the past, and yeah, it's brilliant when you get actors like Tom and like Noah Taylor, like Charlotte Riley going, yeah, we want to be in the show, because it, you know, it means that they like the show, and the show has obviously reached their level. And so yeah, he's a very worthwhile adversary for Tommy in the second series.
You think you can just come to London and pick a side?
Thomas Shelby.
We've
nothing to fear so long as we stick together.